Hey y'all, time to do blood banking. So we're gonna do your ABO, RH, and your antibody screen. So the materials you are gonna be needing is your patient samples, your tubes, and you need to have your anti-sera / blood, your cells that you are going to be using for these procedures. Typically, you always want to label your tubes with the test that you're going to have and your patient identification to help you ID like your samples. Also, you also want to have your patient sample in a 2 to 5 cell suspension. And yeah, so let's get going. So for ABO, we want to have your anti-sera A and B. You want to put those in the tube first because you always want to put your clear liquids in first to make sure that they get into the tube. And then you want to add your patient cells and then just mix it and read the reaction that you have. For RH, you want to add your anti-D and your RH control to the tubes because it's clear fluids, clear anti-sera, and then you want to add your patient's blood and then you red cells, and you want to read that reaction. For your antibody screen, this one will take a little bit longer to do, but it's not super complicated. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So what you're going to be needing is 4 clean tubes, and you want to add 2 drops of your patient's plasma to each tube. Then you want, so with the tubes, you want to label it 1, 2, 3, and control. And then once you do that, and add the patient plasma into the tube, you want to add a drop of the screening cells into each one of the tubes that are to the corresponding tube. Then you also want to add 2 drops of enhancement media. There are 2 different kinds that we use in blood banking, and that's Bliss and PEG. And then you want to incubate your tubes with the enhancement media into according to what enhancement media you use. So for Bliss, it's going to be 15 to 30 minutes, and for PEG, it's going to be right at 20 minutes. No, not longer, not shorter, 20 minutes. And if you're using LIS after your incubation, you can read right after your incubation. If you're using LIS, you want to wash the cells, and you also want to wash the cells after you do LIS too. So for washing, you want to squeeze saline into your tubes and up to at least a centimeter below the lip of the tube, and then you want to centrifuge those for 60 seconds. And you want to do that 3 to 4 times for washing the tubes. After you wash your tubes, you're going to add, so the last wash, you want to blot the tubes onto a paper towel to make sure you got all the excess saline and washing out of the cells. After you do that, if you're using LIS, you want to add 2 drops of a polyspecific anti-hemoglobin. And then if you're using PEG, you want to add 2 drops of anti-IgG. And then you want to mix those contents, and then you want to respin them for 15 seconds. And then you read the results. If you have a negative result, you want to add check cells and then respin it for another 15 seconds. And then you want to check those. And if the check cells do react with the sample, the negative sample, then your negative sample is valid. If it doesn't, then it wasn't valid. You have to redo the washing and everything. You have to redo the antibody screen to be able to do that. I hope that helps. Hope you have a great day.